Hey there, everybody. So today we have something a little bit different. This is not a dive watch, it's not a field watch, and it's not a pilot watch either. This is the Titoni Airmaster. Now, I'm not exactly sure what category to put this piece in. It has some classic lines, a lot of high polish, and a very distinct and classy bracelet. But then the dial is not exactly what you would describe as a dress watch dial, at least not in my opinion. So maybe this is one of those business casual pieces. But anyways, let's talk specs. On screen, I will list everything, but this is a 40 millimeter in width, all stainless steel case and bracelet, and all models of the Airmaster use a Sellita SW200-1 movement. This one boasts a dark blue dial with some red highlights. There are many other versions available, like an all black dial, 3 different two-tone versions, and even an aqua or teal blue dial version, kind of like that Tiffany blue that everyone seems to be mimicking these days. As you saw, the price is just a little over $1,100. Now, for those of you that watch every review and subscribe here on Watch Report, and if you don't, what are you waiting for? You know I have reviewed quite a lot of Titoni watches over the years, and my absolute favorite Titoni so far has been the Seascoper 600, which I will link up here in the right-hand side of the screen if you haven't seen that one yet. And as much as I praise the brand, I also still point out their flaws, and I have to say, this is one of those watches that looked better to me on the Titoni website than in person. Now, let me be clear though, this style of watch is not really my taste, but I like to review and take a look at all kinds of watches, not just the ones that appeal to me, so I will try to be as objective as possible. The first thing I noticed with this Airmaster is there is just a lot of high polish, more so than I thought that would be on this piece. And this is some really polished steel here, so much that it can cause glare when you are just wearing it outside. I also noticed it will scratch fairly easily and be very noticeable when it does, so if you are someone that is OCD about scratches, this may not be the watch for you. Another thing that caught me off guard was the dial. You know, for a watch with such a nice design on the case and bracelet, this matte dial just does not really stand out. I'm not sure what the intent was with a dial like this and a watch of this design, but an enamel or high gloss style, even a sunburst style would have probably worked better here. I like the contrast of this dark navy blue and the red accents, and overall the dial is pretty clean and void of too much text. And in the right lighting, I suppose the Roman numerals look pretty good, but this dial just really doesn't do it for me. What do you think? Am I being too critical of this dial? Let me know down in the comment section below. One more thing though, these hands do have some lume applied to them, but I didn't even bother to record a lume shot here. It fades pretty much within seconds, so I'm not sure why they even bothered to use a lume compound on these hands. The overall build quality is solid, as I would expect from Titoni, and with this being a thin watch, it still has a nice heft to it. You can feel this is a solid piece. The diamond style crown is easy to use, and I do think it is a nice look for this case, and with the polishing to it, it's almost as shiny as a real diamond. The case bag has a nice stamped design of a sailing boat inspired by the power of air, which is where they get the Airmaster from, though I wouldn't really think of this as a nautical watch, but it is a nice looking case back, and at least it didn't show off what I assume is a standard SW200-1, as it does not state elaborate or top grade on the Titoni website. I'm surprised that Titoni didn't use an ETA movement here. I guess they might be reserved for specific models, or they're getting hard to come by for some brands, of course, outside of the Swatch group. One nice touch about this bracelet is it has a solid push-button fold-over clasp and not a dual deployant as so many use, and that's pretty much what I expected with this style of watch. It doesn't really give you any extra adjustment, but I just can never get a dual deployant, to fit me properly, so this is nice to see here. The links use standard friction pins, so it's easy to size while still relatively secure. Now, shown here on my 7.5-inch wrist, it is a thin and very wearable piece. Again, maybe to the office, or, if you're someone that would rock this as a weekend or everyday piece, I mean, more power to you, of course. For me, I'm not sure where this would fall into the collection or where I would really choose to wear it. I mean, this would probably end up as a de facto dress watch for me. Just because I don't wear a lot of dress watches, but again, this dial, and at least in this specific model, in this specific configuration, this dial and case just doesn't mesh well for me. So that is my look at the Titoni C-Scoper. I will have a written article on watchreport.com, so if you are interested in that, link is below in the description. As always, I want to hear from you, so head to the comments and let me know what you think of this Titoni C-Scoper, and let me know if I am way off with my opinion of this piece, or if you agree with me, or if you own one, or whatever the case may be. This is Don Evans from Watch Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.